Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. Joined here with Michael Falk to my right and Cash Carls to my left. How you guys doing?
What up?
Good.
What up? Yeah, we're on video now. We're on YouTube.
Live.
Big time.
Yeah.
We're in the gym too.
Yeah, we're in a gym too.
Yeah. Get
Putting
our pump on.
Putting some new carpet
Gains.
in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why we talk about movies. We're
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
stone, one stone, one. I don't know the saying, but yeah.
Two
Something
stones
about
with
a
one bird
bird,
or something.
about a
Yeah.
bird, yeah.
Who knows? Getting a bird stoned. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Anyways, what the fuck are we talking about today?
It's a good question. I just came in guns ablaze and I have no idea.
Yeah.
What is this
really.
again? Movie podcast?
I think so.
Yeah.
What a treat we have.
Yes.
We are talking about A Quiet Place, directed by Big Tuna himself,
Big Tuna. Yes, Jim.
Jim. Which, when you told me that his name was Jim, I thought I was in this movie. Did we ever figure out if that really?
Oh,
is
I
his
don't
name?
know if that's actually true or not.
Because I was thinking, man, is
Never
this
found
going to be
out
a
his
problem for me? But then I realized they never say each other's
Yeah,
names.
they never
Yeah,
do.
no,
Not
never.
a single
Well,
time.
And I waited for it the whole time,
Yeah, so
too.
I'm like, is this really going to happen? But,
I should have looked that up, see if that was myth or legend.
we'll see what the cast,
Oh, yeah,
what his
that's
name
one.
is.
It
Yeah.
would've been. What'd you guys think about? What'd you guys think about this overall?
Overall,
I loved it.
yeah.
It was, I was absolutely blown away by it. And I was really surprised that it was directed by John
No, his name was Lee.
Lee, not
Lee,
Jim.
not Jim. God damn it.
Who gave us that information again? Was it your sister?
Yeah, my sister, which was
Remember
false
that.
information.
Not
Wow.
a
Yeah.
reliable source.
No, not.
But what do you think, Mason?
I was pleasantly surprised by this movie.
Me too.
It was so good.
Even though going into it, and it was almost, I want to say,
Yeah.
unlike anything I've ever seen before, with how there was only 20 lines of dialogue in the entire thing or whatever.
But again, as we've talked about time and time again on this podcast, less is more.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that with films like Dunkirk. What was the other one? War for the Planet of the Apes was another great film that didn't have a ton of dialogue in it.
Yeah.
Like these movies, they do more showing than telling.
Well, this one definitely. I mean, they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to. Yeah.
But the silence is even like a character itself, and the whole time you're just
I know, it's so
on the edge
crazy.
of your. I want to say I felt like the biggest jackass because I brought in candy.
Oh, no.
Like you had no, and you're thinking, oh, there's got to be some scenes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like it's gonna be loud, where you can get your candy open in because you're always looking for that window.
Oh, of course.
Because you don't want to bother. And
There's
just-
always a window.
And the whole time you're just like, the whole time I'm like, when is this gonna happen? And and in my theater, at least my theater was packed too, but it was dead silent in there. Like you could feel the fucking tension in the
Yeah.
air. Like no one wanted to make a sound. Like everyone was worried a fucking monster was
Yeah.
gonna
That's
come
so
out and
funny because
smash
that was
them.
that was the atmosphere in our
Because
theater
it
too.
was like
Yeah.
you could just hear a fucking pin drop in there. It was so, and as soon as the movie we haven't gotten, but as soon as the intro started, because the intro really just sets the tone, and as soon as you see the first characters, it's just silence the entire time, which is But I did find the time to get the candy open.
And I got to ask this question just out of curiosity for you guys, because there's one of two types of people, and I'm wondering which one you guys are. You know, when the rating system comes up and it's dead quiet in the movie, and that green screen shows up, for a second or two. Do you guys wait to grab your food and eat it when it's dead silent in the theater? Or are you just one of those kind of people that's just like, fuck it, I don't care, popcorn?
When you're showing trailers?
Yeah. And then it gets, you know what I mean, in between the trailers, it gets really quiet.
Oh,
do
if
you
it's
guys do?
trailers,
You don't care?
It's free game.
See, I stop mid-bite. It doesn't matter what it is.
Oh,
I
not me.
hate making noise. In the
I
fucking
don't.
theater.
I don't eat when I go to the movie. So
Never?
not never, but
Well,
most
yeah,
of the
obviously
time
you
no.
have, but yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I would
like,
say 98% of the time I only have a glass of water.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
If it's trailers, I just say it's. I mean, if you're
And
shushing someone when the fucking emoji trailer is playing or
that's
something,
true,
then don't. It's and most of the time I try not even because I see most of the trailers before.
Well, yeah.
But so most of the
Casualty
time
of
I
the
try to
job.
get there almost right when the movie starts, so I don't even have to sit through the trailers.
I need to get better at that. Because like I'll see the movie at 11:40 or whatever, and then I'll go in at 11:35 thinking the movie's gonna start at 11:40, and
no.
obviously it never does.
I always get there like
Yeah.
15 minutes before, or after, like when it's supposed to start.
Do you still have Movie Pass?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
You're still able to find like seat. Oh yeah, you sit below. You don't sit above.
Yeah, I can see
that's
anywhere.
right. Yeah. So you don't give a shit.
Yeah. No.
No.
No, and no one cares either. And most of the time, I try to save my food for the movie, anyways, because I just
Right.
enjoy eating it during the movie instead of I'm not sure eating it all before the trailers, like some fucking people. But yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Me. I'll finish a bowl of mac and cheese before the trailer's done, bro. If I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, yeah, you've witnessed me do it. I'll scarf that thing down.
But no,
well, good. I would rather it's you eat.
I know.
I
I'm
would
just
rather,
trying to be respectful for everyone
That's
else.
one
and
reason
not
I
eat
sit down with the people. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear some guy next to me munch on his
on fucking nachos
Yeah,
while
it is
watching
actually-
a western.
You don't want to
A
be
quiet-ass
constantly
western.
looking down while you're trying to watch the movie.
Yeah, that sucks because
Yeah.
you miss some important scenes in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is a movie that would definitely easily be ruined by. I wish
Yes.
they would even show like a warning or something like before, like extreme silence throughout, or
Yeah.
because
I never really turn off my phone. I just put it on vibrate, but it was so quiet in there that even the vibrating was loud. So I had to go in my pocket real quick.
yeah, what
and
I'll
shut
do
it
is
off.
I'll take it out and just
Yeah.
sit on my lap because if it's like against your thigh, it'll do.
Yeah,
the,
and it'll even go louder.
Yeah.
it's like aggravated or pissed.
Yeah.
That it's
So
in your
I'll
pocket.
I'll sit on my lap where it will it doesn't make any noise.
Yeah,
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 because
yeah.
that is one where like everyone should have the
Yeah.
phone just shut off because.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think you really go into it
you
thinking
weren't
it's going to
thinking
be
it was gonna
2
be that
hours
quiet.
of
No,
silence.
No.
I mean, because the trailers and what I liked, I only saw one trailer, which I know they released like 3 or 4 of them. Which is, I'm glad I only saw one because
well,
we can talk about the intro. I had
Yeah,
no
if-
idea that intro was.
oh
coming.
really?
Oh,
That's-
you didn't?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Why?
I didn't know that the kid was actually going to get taken. I
Right,
thought
neither
that the
did
dad
I.
was going to save him. So
Yeah.
that did catch me
Oh
off
yeah,
guard.
yeah. I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw him running back. I thought for sure he was going to save
Yeah.
So
him.
did I.
And I,
The whole time.
And again, when I saw the trailer, I didn't think because the trailer shows like what the trailer shows. At least the one I saw, it really just showed the first like minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
which
A
is
little
I
bit.
like a lot because it doesn't
Ruin
show a lot.
anything
Yeah.
for you.
So the whole like first 2 minutes are what I saw in the first trailer. So I saw that guy running back, and I expected for sure that he was going to
Yeah.
save him, and that was going to be like the big like warning or whatever.
Yeah.
But no.
Nope. Little 5-year-old kid gets taken out within the first 3 minutes of the movie.
Yes, in a brutal,
Yes,
which
very brutal way.
a common trend we're seeing now: kids being killed.
I was about to
which
say
I gotta
never
say,
did that
I'm
before.
not
Damn it, I
against
wanted to
it.
bring that
I'm
up.
not
Yeah.
against it.
I
Yeah.
love it though.
Yes.
It's fucked up as it is. It
It's real.
invests you in the movie
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much more because you're like, holy fuck, a kid.
It really it raises the stakes too.
Yes,
because,
raises the stakes.
you know, for
exactly.
years, kids, and even women were almost never
Killed.
killed, or
Right.
kids
and if
especially.
they were, they would do it off screen.
And
Yeah.
if they were, it was like if a kid died in a movie, like he died of like cancer or something very,
And they
very
would-
sad,
They
very
pretty much
slow.
just talk about it. They wouldn't
yeah,
show
exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't show it, but like we saw in It,
Yep.
and like we saw in this, yeah,
It the poor
two
kid's arm off.
brutal scenes.
Yeah.
But we should just talk about that opening because that opening really set them in like the grocery store and everything. It showed you how like
It amazed me.
meticulous everything
Yes.
was.
Yes,
Had to
because
have
did you
been.
notice that the only thing left in
Yeah.
the store were like loud foods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the chips were still up there, but all the other aisles were completely
You know,
cleaned
no
off.
jackass is reaching for a sun chip. The loudest of the chips. It sounds like you're munching on glass.
Yes.
Yes.
Because, you know, one bite of a sun chip, you got every fucking alien in the vicinity at you after your ass.
Here's my crazy, fucked up kind of mind. What I was thinking though is why not just put it in some sort of water or something and kind of stir it up where it gets nice and soft, and then you could have like some sort of like chip paste.
Well, the bag,
Chip
you still have to
paste?
handle the bag. The bag's
yeah,
loud.
Very true.
bag's loud.
Yeah.
That's what it was in the grocery store. Everything that had a plastic bag around it was the only
Was
thing.
still
only
on
thing
the
out
shelf,
there,
yeah.
That makes total sense.
It was crazy.
But see, those are little details that you find in a movie that you appreciate
Yeah.
so much more.
Oh, and that's what this movie did so
Yeah.
well was that little the sand and everything like that. It was so thought out where
Yes.
you couldn't, and even how they used leaves or not leaves but lettuce leaves instead of plates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just in case of a
Right.
plate dropping or whatever. How they use the Monopoly scene. How they use like
yeah.
The little rug. or
Handmade-
yeah,
whatever.
stuff from a sewing kit or
Yeah,
something
handmade
like that. Yeah.
sewing things,
Stuff
yeah.
like that where it was just very, very thought out.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I really did enjoy the sand too, because that was my first thought. And did you know, which you guys noticed obviously, but they were barefoot the whole time,
Yeah,
which I
so
like that
I think
too.
that the
'cause shoes
sand was a
actually make-
dual purpose as sound dampening, and you could then not have to wear shoes
Yeah,
because
that's
you're
true.
walking on soft
Yeah.
sand.
But you got that fucking trail of sand probably took forever to
Ever.
lay
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
One
And where'd
bag
they
at a
get all
time.
the sand?
And you saw,
Yeah.
and in some scenes it showed he was like still working on it.
Yeah.
like he was,
Yeah.
but yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to carry because you can't. I mean, you could do it with a wheelbarrow, I guess,
Right.
but you would have to really fucking risk that tipping that thing over or something.
Yeah.
So I'm
There's no
guessing,
way.
I'm
And
guessing
then
he
the
would have done
squeaky
it.
little wheels that you're
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
hold that fucking thing around.
So I'm guessing
No,
he
thank
did
you.
it one bag at a time,
Yeah.
which would. But yeah, that and just the scenes and just the detail, the level of detail and everything was the set design was amazing.
Right. And I know we're talking about set design, but I want to talk about the detail in the actual creatures that we see, later on, obviously. But how fucking amazing were the creatures in this? Like how
they were
the
good.
CGI was really good. I like the design of them. It was something totally different, something I'd never seen before. And then with the intricacy of like opening up its gills or whatever it is, and then you see how it operates, how the
Yeah,
extraterrestrial
well, it was like one
operated.
big ear.
Yeah,
All that
yeah.
thing was. It was like just super. Yeah, and it showed him more than I thought it would show him too. It
did.
showed him
It
a
showed him a
lot,
lot.
but it showed him enough where you didn't get so much time where you could really, because it's CGI after all. But the CGI, it never looked fake at all to
No.
me.
That was my
Yeah.
biggest thing. I was like, damn,
And it worked
did this
perfectly
right.
because they were always moving so fucking fast.
fast, always.
Yeah.
So you guys keep talking about them as aliens and extraterrestrials. Is there something that I missed in there that it shows that they're from outer space?
There's a news clipping or newspaper that says a meteor landed in Mexico.
Oh.
But that
See?
that could either mean that something woke them up,
Right.
or they came. I'm guessing that they did come from somewhere, from space, where there's no sound or whatever, and the whole thing was they just fucking hated sound because it hurt them a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Because
makes sense.
I never thought they were eating people. I never got the sense.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I got the sense they were just killing.
yeah.
Because even when later when it showed the lady in the woods, it
That's what I was
didn't
gonna
show
bring
her.
up.
Although they had big fucking teeth, I just got the sense that they were just really fucking mad when they heard, because it just killed them or really hurt them or whatever. And that's why they always got so angry when
Yeah.
like the speakers were going or something like that.
Yeah, I got that sense too, that they never actually ate anyone. And yeah, when it showed all those newspaper clippings and all the shit posted up on the wall, I was trying to do my best to look at every single thing, because I was like, there's going to be clues in here. I know there is.
Oh yeah.
Easter egg or two, yeah.
Well, exactly, and that's the kind of thing that makes you want to go back and watch it again. Because as soon as I was done watching it, I just want to know, I'm like, where did those fucking things come from? I want to know everything that they know, because I just love that aspect of like the
I
sci-fi and the mystery.
Like it better that they didn't go into any
Oh yeah,
explanation of anything, because it just felt very localized to this family, and there's no way they're gonna know
yeah.
unless they
And then that
intercept a
gives you
transmission or
you
something.
the ability to make up your own conclusions
Exactly.
or whatever. Yeah, and that's just great storytelling.
And this was super localized. There was only 6 people in the whole movie, and a dead lady and a baby. That's it. 6 actors, a dead person, and a baby.
And
Yeah.
by the first opening, it's 100 and some days in or something.
The first one's 89.
Yeah.
And then it goes
89
to
days.
472.
89 days. So you got to think these things came down and just fucking killed
So many people.
in
Yeah.
89 days. That's not a lot of time.
Well, that's less than 3 months.
Yeah,
It's a day
that's-
less than 3 months.
So these
yeah.
things must have just torn through everything. And again, like you said, we don't see anyone else, and you got to assume that the only people that made it out were these people that lived out in farms
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Well,
far
in that
away from
one,
everyone
in
else.
that one scene when John Krasinski's character, he lights the fire,
Yeah.
and then he sees all the other fires.
So you know that
So
there
you
is
know
other
people
yeah.
are out there, which I like that they showed that other people still survived,
Me
but they
too.
didn't need to necessarily be involved in the storyline. I
Well,
like
you
that.
know, because more people would just be more risk. So
Mm-hmm.
you would want to keep it as secluded as possible. But yeah, I like that it showed those people too, because it gave you some kind of hope.
Yeah,
But
some
then at
weird
the end,
glimmer of hope.
at the end, spoiler alert, they light the fire and there's no other fires lit.
Yeah,
Did that make you guys assume that all the other people were dead?
that's what I
I
assumed.
don't know.
That's
Yeah.
what I had
don't
assumed.
know.
Yeah, adios muchachos. 'Cause that old couple.
Or it could have been that that maybe if they lit it any other time besides the end of the day, that man like come for help or something, and just no one else was responding or something.
Nah, we're good. We're gonna pass.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
I don't know, but between
We're gonna go find a quiet.
Because when they let off the fireworks later, no one comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
But see, that was really good too. That writing was really good too. Because the whole time, like when I saw that Emily Blunt was pregnant in this movie, I'm like, how the fuck is she gonna have a kid?
I know, that's what I'm like. Oh my god,
how are you gonna be able to birth this?
That's not quiet.
Right, and then after the birth, let's just say you're able to, perform the birth. Without getting slaughtered?
It's a baby.
How are you gonna keep that thing quiet?
This what led me to this.
But they did a good job.
As soon as I saw
realistic job too.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw that, I thought there had to have been a period where like when these things came down and everyone just had to kill all their pets.
Oh hell yeah!
Because you couldn't risk any
No.
animal. So
Nope.
either like the first like 4 days or something, it was just pet massacre.
Oh yeah, they were all dead.
Yeah, because
Well, how about
birds,
that poor
chickens.
raccoon with his friend. He
Well,
was
what
just hanging
Straight up
out.
squashed.
How did he last that long?
That's a good question.
This is
'cause he was a
I want a
fumbling,
movie
stumbling
following.
raccoon.
Yeah, I want a
Yeah.
movie following these two guys.
That's another reason
shenanigans. They
why
got
I
it.
don't think they eat anything they kill, because I just straight up squashed it.
Yeah, I did.
Exactly. That's what every time it just seemed like they were just.
Oh,
Because
did
then
you
a lot,
guys
and when they
jump?
killed the kid, he looked like they just squashed the kid too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Well, poor kid.
Yeah.
Did you guys jump in that raccoon scene?
I jumped in a lot of
I
fucking
did,
scenes.
too.
It's
Well,
because
it's
it was
almost
so
impossible.
damn quiet.
I
in
know.
there.
Yeah, it's so silent, and then when anything big happens, it's so loud
Yeah.
in there.
They got the beat of the actual action, and then the music does.
Yeah.
It's like it overloads your brain. You're like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
you
what
have
was
no
that?
clue that anything's
And
coming.
it just goes back to quiet.
Yep.
It's another thing that was so freaky is just you never realize when sound like is working against you, how it just becomes like your number one fucking enemy. And they did that so well where when sound's taken away, how it's just how it just fights against you. Everything you do is just so fucking loud. But I think, and that's what made me think that what prepared them was how this family was already kind of prepared with having the deaf daughter and everything, so they could sign and everything already, and that really helped them survive through all that. Even though that deaf kid became a problem later on.
A real problem. Yeah.
She
But
had some
also
real
the
attitude.
solution?
Yeah. But again,
Kind of.
yeah, that whole sense of the weight that she like felt guilty for her brother's death or whatever.
Yeah.
That scene just killed me. When
Yeah.
she gave him the rocket, I knew someone was gonna fuck up with that rocket.
Yeah.
God, that little shit.
Took the batteries.
And put him fucking in, and then I don't know.
He's
what he was
old enough
thinking.
to understand that you can't make a sound.
He was 4.
Yeah.
yeah.
Poor kid.
Pretty young to be thrown, and you
And
gotta
he'd
think.
probably never seen one of them before anyway. He's probably just got his parents always telling him, hey, quiet, little Timmy. Well, little Timmy didn't last too long.
how hard?
None at all.
How hard would it be for a kid, too? Or kids are so damn loud, too.
Oh, I know.
You cannot keep a kid quiet. Yeah.
No, there's no way.
I mean,
They
these
don't
kids
have- they don't have the
were
comprehension.
very well fucking behaved.
Yes, they were.
In the start, why was the kid like hurt or whatever? Remember, they're finding.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they were
the
looking
pills?
for medication.
Was
for
he
it.
having like an allergic reaction?
I didn't
or something?
understand that either.
I thought that
because
was
they never brought it up later on in the movie.
I thought it was something that was going to come back like a signs situation where it comes
Yeah.
back in and like, but
Right.
never. I guess it was just to establish.
It's funny you bring up signs, because it reminded me a lot of.
It reminded me of Signs. It reminded me of Cloverfield.
Yeah,
where,
like a epic mix of the two.
Yeah.
And it actually was originally supposed to be part of the Cloverfield film
What?
family. Yes,
Really?
Paramount wanted it to be, but they fought for it to be its own thing. And that's
I kind of would
probably
have liked that. But I mean, like, as far as just the Cloverfield, but I
I
would have been the best one out of all the movies.
by far.
Yeah.
I'm definitely glad they did its own thing because
Yeah, me too.
Cloverfield had nothing to do with
No.
being quiet
No,
or
no.
anything, so it'd be totally
Yeah, that
random
is
and
true.
different. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't try to work that in.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what other scenes did you guys like? We talked about the start, which was just soul shattering.
Well, we won't. We won't go in order. I really like the when he told his daughter at the end. He finally actually tells her, "I love you."
yeah.
You know, because that whole lead up to
these
that.
kids were fucking amazing, and that girl was really deaf.
Yes.
Who did an amazing job.
Oh, she's deaf in real life?
Yeah, John fought for them to cast an actual deaf actress, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that she had to be deaf. There was no other way to do it.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Yeah, she was fucking amazing, too.
Yeah, she was
even
really
and without
good.
talking, with the emotion and everything of how destroyed she was after her brother got smushed.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Probably not a scene you want to walk over and see
Yeah.
if he's okay.
No.
How many times are we going to make dead kid jokes on this podcast?
Well, it
God?
doesn't
I don't
happen
know,
a
how
lot.
long's it gonna be?
It doesn't happen,
Doesn't happen a lot. You got to get them all out.
You do got to get them out. Yep.
Another scene that I guess we'll just bring up is, or we just talk about an element, is the nail in the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
That thing
Saw that
lasted
coming.
so damn long, and the whole time I was thinking, who's gonna just pin that fucking nail down? I thought everyone was gonna step on it. Everyone that came down there,
every
I'm
single
like, do they
time,
remember?
like, fuck, the next person's gonna. Oh, but I know. She
Yeah.
didn't do anything. She stepped on it, and then obviously she's running away. But then after that whole situation,
She
you
didn't
figure you
fix
go
it.
back to the stair, and then when all the, you know, at the end,
And
they're all
every-
creeping down. I'm like,
everyone,
fuck, someone
yeah.
else is
I was
gonna
hoping-
step
Well,
on it.
I was
she,
hoping at least
she
the
pointed
alien-
at it. Yeah, I thought that
I was
it
hoping at
gonna-
least the alien was gonna step
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been kind of goofy. Yeah, but yeah, that thing was, it's just such a small element that gave so much tension to all of those scenes. So much
Yeah.
unnecessary
I
tension.
know.
Bend that fucking nail down.
Okay.
And tetanus
you
shots
want to
can't
talk
be-
about unnecessary tension? That scene when Emily Blunt wakes up after giving birth and the baby's in the crate, right? Which we should probably talk about that later too, as well. Which was a great idea to finish up my last point. And then she wakes up, she sees the creature, and the motherfucker goes underwater. I was like, nope, I'm done. And then she gets out of bed. I'm like, bitch, you better stay in that bed. Are you kidding me? Oh, I couldn't deal with that scene. That was the worst scene for me, man.
That scene just showed to me that these things can like fight in any fucking condition or whatever. Because it was fast on land and it was really fast in fucking water too. And it wasn't a huge room either. And that thing disappeared.
Disappeared underwater, yeah.
So-
So, probably knee deep high.
Yeah, which is
Or thigh deep.
insane. And it must be able to hear underwater. I mean, the same amount too. But
Yeah, you can hear better
I thought that
underwater.
scene did a really good job of showing that these things are just like Predator,
Yeah.
like the ultimate fucking kill machine.
They'll kill you.
But we'll go back to the baby scene. My favorite scene of the whole movie was when the fireworks were all shooting off, and Emily Blunt was in the bathroom, and she was like dying, and then she lets out that that fucking
Huge
that
scream.
scream.
scream from hell.
That entire scene with the fireworks going off, man, it was a great
Yeah.
fucking looking scene.
That
It
whole-
was beautiful.
It really was.
That whole scene of just her in the tub, that was one take. She nailed it in one take. That big of intense scene.
Yeah.
One time.
Well, we
and
are
immediately
talking
after
about-
they did cut, she's like, okay, what's everybody having for lunch?
Well, we are talking about Emily Blunt.
Jesus.
Here, so, yeah.
She must have known. I mean,
Incredible.
They must have pressed. I mean, it must have been obvious in the script that scene is going to be like the fucking scene because of that. I mean, that was the scene that with those fireworks going off and everything, and there's just so much tension in that.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you don't know if she's going to make it
No.
because the fucking kid's set up where anyone could die.
Right.
So you don't know this baby could die, she could die, and I did not think she was making it out of that.
I didn't even-
No, neither did I.
It was just the biggest fuck up. Yeah.
I like the character development too between John, which I'll call him Lee from now on, and his two kids. Why he didn't want to take his older daughter, which is obviously because she was deaf and he didn't want her to, but she didn't understand that. But I really like that scene between him and his son, because his son was kind of not a pussy, but he kind of was. You know
No,
what
yeah,
I
he
mean?
definitely was.
He definitely was a little crybaby. you
Well,
know?
he just
But he was just super scared, which I would probably do the
obviously,
same thing
yeah.
if I
I mean,
was
yeah.
10 or 11.
I wouldn't want to go out,
Right, but it's a
and
movie,
he
so I can
and
make fun.
he did see his fucking
Brother
brother
get
first
smushed.
hand.
That is true. Yeah, I get attacked
And
and
just
killed.
think, how scary a world is where you can't make. I mean, what if you trip? I trip everywhere, man. I would be fucked. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, and what if you sneeze or you
Yeah.
fucking
Or
fart?
you stub your
Or-
toe
yeah.
or something. Yeah, no.
It's just, it's so scary to think about. I would literally just stay in a fucking closet padded closet than my entire to just stay in that room.
It surprised me that they didn't already have like a super soundproof room like they end up having until it floods.
Yeah,
like that would have been the first thing I would have tried to do.
Yeah, the whole thing I was thinking is bunker, but again, when I guess the world ends,
where the fuck are you gonna find a bunker?
yeah, I mean
he
was smart, but I mean, to build a bunker, it would make some noise. It would.
I'm just talking about like soundproofing a room, just one room in your house,
right?
But all the mattresses you have.
They did soundproof that basement,
right?
Yeah,
but
that didn't get finished until after it cut to the almost 500 days later.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just think maybe they're just constantly working on it. That's what I just think. They're just applying more and more layers.
That was my one beef with it. Well, I have two beefs, but that was the one beef with this movie. Why didn't they just live in there?
Yeah.
It's quiet down there. Why not live there? Why live in a house outside where these beasts can just literally walk through the front door?
Yeah, they didn't even close the door.
No, they didn't close the door half the time.
My
Probably the entire movie, actually.
My whole sense was that
was open.
The entire time Emily Blunt was trying to give them the most normal life they can possibly live. Even though this insane thing happens, she wanted these kids, I mean, to have kids to just live in this fucking 5x5 room with your kids that close. You're going to go fucking nuts. You're going to end up murdering everyone. So she was trying, and the way they played games and everything, and the way they still interacted, and they still had some kind of life or whatever. Because, I mean, as long as you're quiet, you don't have to worry about these things running up on you or whatever. Because they're blind. They're completely blind. Right. So as long as you're completely quiet, you're completely out of danger. You're not just going to run into one of these things. So that was my whole thing, was and exactly why they didn't live. Because I'm sure there's probably some people who went underground for a year. But eventually you're just going to end up going insane.
Well, you don't have
that
to
actually makes a lot of sense.
Stay there.
I get that.
I'm just like, when it's night and you're at home, be in there.
Yeah.
And when you wake up, you can go outside and be quiet.
One other thing. No noise, right? Okay, but they get in the truck. John dies. Rest in peace. And then they take the truck and they roll it backwards, right?
Forwards, down the hill.
Well, yeah, down the hill, whatever. But my point, Ming, is those tires make some noise on the road. Was that just not accounted for in the film, or what? Because none of the beasts were chasing the truck or anything.
It didn't chase it, but it did eventually show back up at the house where the truck ended up stopping, but it was not.
And
those things are super fast.
It wasn't any noise either that made them go. I mean, it was, you could still make those dull noises or whatever because of the river and everything we saw. So it wasn't any
in that scene.
Yeah. So it wasn't. So yeah, it probably did make some noise, but that thing was eating John at the time, or killing him or whatever. True, yeah. But at least they didn't start it or anything. That's what I was hoping. I'm like, oh god,
not a good idea. Well, when I originally saw it go down, I'm like, did that kid start the car? Hopefully that's not a diesel truck.
Yeah,
yeah. Another thing that I thought was weird in that scene was that he just accepted that he was dying. He didn't try to fight at all. Like, he wouldn't have won, of course, but he didn't keep the axe or anything. He just stood there. I would have at least tried to fight a little bit.
Not me.
Why?
To stay alive for a few extra seconds for the kids to get farther away.
I'm fucking A-okay, dude. Take me out.
I'm trying to give my kids time to get away.
I just told my fucking kids that I love them. Okay,
man,
that is all they need in this post-apocalyptic shithole.
I don't think you're going toe to toe.
I'm going out.
I'm not saying he's winning. I'm saying
I don't think there's anything he could have done to make that fight last any longer.
No.
Like,
I don't. Seen those
he whacked it once.
Yeah, when that thing. I don't think the thing was even paying attention to it or whatever. And you know that these things cannot be killed.
No,
with weapons.
I'm not telling you that he's gonna win.
Yeah,
I am 100%. He's going to die.
I know, but
I'm going out swinging. I'm not just gonna stand there.
They did the thing.
Even if it's smash him. Swing, I don't care.
Smash him. I mean,
time it.
Hey, well,
time.
Fuck, man.
It's an 18-foot giant alien creature, killing machine.
That's not 18 feet.
We'll call you when you're out. Yeah.
Time it. I mean, the army couldn't kill these things.
You guys are just going to lay down and die. I get it. But I'm going to try to give my kids a split fucking second.
I get it.
A split second more.
No, I get it. Barry Bonds, you're trying to leave your legacy. It's all good. It's all good, my friend. I get it.
Okay.
Go out swinging.
I don't think those kids were going back and going, man, Dad was a fucking pussy, dude. He didn't even fight that thing.
That's my dad.
What an asshole.
Fuck that guy. I'm glad
he's dead.
That's just what crossed my mind is why I would have kept the axe for sure.
Well, that's because you're a better man than us.
Yes, yeah, you are a...
I'm like I said, I know he's not winning, but I'm
just
still
thinking,
going down fighting.
I'm just thinking that thing just pounced on him, probably just
Oh,
broke every
dude,
bone in his
literally.
body. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, but
he
those
looked.
pinchers just stabbed him right in the chest.
I mean,
He's done.
you could be the best fucking timer of all time. I mean, you could time this thing down to the split second. You can, I mean, yeah, you could thread the needle. You could do whatever. But I'm saying you are not.
well,
even
he could have ran too.
Even the quick,
Where are you gonna run?
the quick scene.
5 feet over, it has to fucking.
The quick
You
scene.
care about your life that much where you're
No,
gonna try to
dude.
save it for a second?
Extra seconds for the kids. A parent in that situation is going to fight. They're not just going to stand there, guaranteed.
I'm saying whatever he did though worked. So whatever.
No, yeah.
I know. Whatever.
For some reason, it didn't chase the truck, but yes, it worked. I can't believe you guys don't understand it.
No, I understand
not-
what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't think there's any possible thing
No.
he could have done to prolong that fight.
I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying he's going to try. A father will try.
Maybe he was just trying to get one last look at his kids. He just wanted to look at his kids as long
The
as
whole
possible
time?
before. Oh, it looked like
Well,
he wanted
no,
to get.
I'm
it looked like he
asking.
wanted to look at him.
That
Yeah.
actually makes sense then. I can accept that.
It looked like he wanted to just remember them to the very last second. That's
but
the
it's
last
also
thing you
kind
want
of
to see.
fucked up for the kids to do. Just stare them at the eyes while you die. That's kind of weird, but
Well, I know he didn't really have time to go, hey, turn around. This is going to be fucked up.
It's gonna be a little gruesome.
Yeah, I know.
About to see Daddy's head go flying.
And I think, yeah, they probably want to see him as long as possible, too.
Oh God, I never thought we'd. This is the biggest debate in 2018 that we've ever had on this podcast, and it's about a matter of mere seconds in a character's life.
Fractions of
I
seconds.
just felt like a father would try.
Milliseconds.
Oh man,
know.
you're gonna have to take that up with old John there.
Yeah.
I'll take it up with anybody. I guarantee you that any dad in that situation is going to try.
I thought he did quite a bit of as some dads don't even fucking
Some
raise
dads-
their
yeah,
kids,
some dads-
let alone
Ow.
let alone sacrifice themselves for their kids to
Yeah.
live. I mean,
Or let alone wanting to bring more in the world with these
Yeah, I
fucking monsters.
I'm not going to sit here and
He's getting
criticize his.
He's getting his wife knocked up for. Oh man.
Anyways, that was a pretty brutal scene. That
Yes,
was
it
what he
was.
did.
Yeah.
But I liked how it seemed that every death in this movie wasn't for no reason.
Yeah.
There's kind of things that I thought connected it with, like, even how they called do you know that? Did you notice they called the fireworks rockets?
Rockets. Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of like a homage to, because that kid, the little kid, was obsessed with rocket ships or whatever, for whatever reason of him.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing he got some idea that the rocket is the only way. Because at some point they say something about a rocket getting them off the planet,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and the kid drew that on the ground.
Yeah,
at
and
the
he
very
did. Yeah,
beginning.
and that's another thing I didn't
Yeah.
even think about. Yeah, so I think that was another. So his death, John's death, was all kind of. John kind of died, and in his wake, they kind of found the sonar thing or the
Right.
frequency or whatever it was.
Well, yeah. We haven't even brought up that either about how he was working on all those different earpieces. Did you guys know exactly what that was for? I mean, obviously, I thought it was like some sort of improvement to help his daughter's hearing, but if she's deaf, was he trying to cure her hearing or what?
He was trying to make a hearing aid that worked for her.
Yeah, there was something that was
Yeah.
obviously they didn't know the exact reason of her being deaf or whatever for whatever reason. But I mean, there are hearing aids that can make deaf
Yeah.
people.
Some.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's why a lot of people. I mean, just because a lot of them, if you're completely deaf, those hearing aids, even just some sound is better, and that's what they kind of do.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a world where she's deaf, that's the most dangerous thing. Where she doesn't.
Hell yeah, she doesn't.
Where she doesn't know
what
when
gonna
she's
hit.
making
Yeah.
sounds. Yeah.
Well, and that's why John didn't take her on that trip. And
Yeah.
then she's like putting her books away, and she's like, "I'll be quiet. I won't make a sound."
She was super loud when she was getting ready, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she has no fucking idea that
She
she's
has no
making.
idea how much noise.
She
is
could be the
what.
heaviest fucking foot person in the world, stomping around everywhere. She'd have no idea, and that's why he was working. Because a deaf person in a world where he can't have sound, that's the most dangerous thing in the
Right.
world. Not just for her, but for everyone.
Mhm.
And that's why, yeah, she just didn't appreciate
No,
that.
she
He
did
was
not
working.
get it either. either.
And John was a fucking genius in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
I want to know what he did.
Before?
I mean, I'm guessing he was just a farmer.
guessing- it was right
if
after
that was their farm.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they just went there, they knew about it, but
I'm yeah.
no, there's pictures on the wall of them, so it's their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably like Interstellar. He's some fucking spaceship pilot. Now he's a farmer. It always
It
happens.
happens.
It always happens.
It does.
Let me tell you, if the world's ending, I'm going out farming. It just seems like the safest plan.
Not me.
Get out, tons of land, no one around you.
I'm going to an island. How am I going to get there? I'm not quite sure. But I'm eventually
Well, I
getting
mean, if an island is available, I will go to an island. But yeah.
They can swim though.
Those things?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
What I was thinking is, what do you think the safest place would be to live
Mount Everest.
By the waterfall.
by a beach?
By the beach.
By the
Because the ocean
beach?
sound.
Constant waves, sand everywhere. No sound at all.
You can
'Cause
see
of the
stuff
sound.
coming from a long way.
Yeah,
away.
exactly. It's
True, true.
right. So if you got like a sweet beach house, constant sound because of the waves crashing,
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a good idea.
Yeah.
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 But again, if you live in fucking Illinois or something like they might have,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to be
You're
able to get
not-
to a
you
beach
ain't
No.
making it.
because you can't drive anywhere.
It's been good knowing everyone in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the cities. I can't even.
Yeah,
imagine.
no, I know.
mean,
New York, Chicago. Oh,
Yeah.
they were getting wiped out first and foremost.
you got to think it must have been a bloodbath because these things aren't using weapons; they're just smashing.
They're smashing
things.
human
Yeah,
beings.
yeah. That's their primary method.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing they didn't show New York or any of those cities.
I know. That's what I was
It's been a
thinking too.
pool
I was
of
thinking.
blood,
Oh,
just basically.
oh yeah. But let's talk about the old man scene.
Yeah, crazy ass bastard.
Yeah,
That's
no kidding.
when I so that they did show that old man in the
Yeah,
trailer.
they
When
did.
I thought that old man was gonna be like the alien's pet or something, and they were using them as bait. Yeah.
Oh.
So I just overestimated how smart they were. Really, that guy just fucking snapped.
Yeah.
What a prick.
Said his wife was
Yeah.
dead. He said, "I'm
Hasn't
not
said a
saying-"
word in 500. You know, he's probably just. How many times he wanted to yell at his wife?
God.
Yell at her. Now she's
Now
dead.
she's
He
dead,
can't even get a
can't even
chance.
Yell
Yeah.
at her.
So
Can't tell her
he's-
all the things he wanted to say.
You bitch. Yeah. Now you just
He's just
stand
had
over a
enough to
court.
hear,
Yeah.
He's just done.
Yeah, and he almost gets a father and his son killed too, which is fucked up.
I know. You figure you'd have some common decency.
He must have
at
been
least wait
really
for them
out
to
of it.
leave.
Yeah.
And that scene, even though we kind of knew that scene was coming, it's still because as soon as we keep calling him John.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess
Lee.
his name is Lee.
Well, they
yeah.
never say the name
Yeah,
of
they
the
never
movie,
say
so we
it.
can
It's
call
hard
him
to-
whatever
yeah.
we want.
We can call him Jim. That might
Yeah.
be more helpful.
Yeah, Jim.
But as you know, as soon as he sees the old man, he knows because you know
Yeah.
he gets a look and he puts the kid
Yeah.
down and he knows, oh, this is fucked up. Because I'm guessing, obviously, those people aren't supposed to mix, and you're supposed to not randomly just run into other families or
No.
whatever. I'm sure it's a lot more coordinated than that. But yes, you know, as soon as you saw him, which again just shows how strong of actor he was, which I don't know, it came out of nowhere. The whole time I was just blown away that this is Jim Halpert. And comedians making thrillers and
Yeah. And doing a really good job at it, too.
yeah, it's insane.
Better than most.
Yeah,
Better
and-
than
and
pretty
I-
much everyone.
I mean, I know this is classified whatever, it's maybe a thriller or whatever, but I would put this in a horror category, and I'd say this is the best just because of the elements. I would say this one so far is the best of 2018. I think with it, we saw it being the best last year, but I can't think of one so far in 2018 that's better than this.
and it
I
is,
don't think
and it
there
is
hasn't
scary.
been a whole lot. There's been
Not
this.
mainstream, no.
There's been that Truth or Dare one that looks
That
dumb
one
as
looks
hell.
terrible. That one's out right now. It's
Um,
got like 14% or whatever.
Yeah,
I won't be seeing.
no,
Rough.
I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head in 2018 because it's only 4 months old.
That's true. Very true.
I don't
I wonder how they
I
went to
feel
the
I can't
bathroom
think.
in this.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. How do you take a fat shit?
I know we're worrying about fucking making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Definitely got to soundproof the bathroom. For
That's
sure.
something outhouse soundproof.
There you go.
That's the only way to do it.
Yep. But how long can you have an outhouse before?
I
You
know
have to move
eventually,
it.
or clean it out.
Ugh,
I'm not sure if they're
Well,
cleaning
you,
it out by
you ain't
hand.
cleaning it out. You gotta
just move.
fill it and move it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
but fertilizer. I'm sure they were smart. Compost system.
That's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, another thing. This I'm going to bring up, and this is a good point. How the fuck do they plant all that corn? That's a lot of corn to plant every single year without making a sound. How does one do that?
Well, it makes more noise harvesting the corn than it does planting the corn.
Yeah,
you
man.
just drop the seeds.
I'm just sure it just takes a lot more time than it does everything. I'm
But
sure.
without making a sound, how are you able to run those cycles every single year?
You can get down and plant a corn and without any making.
Yeah, the
any
planting
noise.
I don't have a problem
I'm
with.
just
The harvesting,
the
harvesting is
in
loud as
general.
shit.
I'm talking about the entire cycle.
Yeah,
of
I mean, you
corn
would have
and
to
all of
hand
that field.
harvest it each
very
wave stalk.
carefully and slowly.
Yeah, you'd have to get down, scissor one stalk, and hand everything. Yeah, the
Sounds
planting
like a lot
would
of
be-
work.
Yes, everything would. Everything that takes 10 times more
Maybe
work.
they go out really far away and set up an alarm to go off at a certain time. And then when the alarm's going off, they run out there and do as much as they can and get back.
It would have to be fucking quick. You would have to,
Yeah.
And you gotta just hope that all of those things are going after that one sound and not because
Well, if you make it loud enough, they will.
yeah. And I liked again, it gave subtle hints of what was going on by showing like him in his workshop or whatever, and how he kind of knew how many were in the area.
Yeah.
I want to know how many.
Are there, period.
Yeah, around the
Yeah.
world.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, but I wonder how these three or what kind of area they covered, or I mean, because they must cover a lot of area because of how good their hearing is.
Yeah.
So there might not be that. There might be like 60 of them or something crazy in America, but because it wouldn't take a lot of them, and especially if nothing can kill them. Because although we never got to see anyone try to kill it, I'm guessing they were like bulletproof or whatever.
Well, yeah, it says that in one of those news articles.
Oh yeah, it
one of the
says
headlines.
don't try to shoot them, or it says get underground. Actually, yeah.
Well, if you, it could. I mean, bullets could hurt them, but the sound's just gonna draw more.
Yeah. Well, if you got a
So-
silencer.
Yeah, it still makes
Real
noise.
sound.
Yeah,
And real silencers don't- yeah,
silence
no.
like they do in the movies. No.
Yeah, because I would imagine that there has been a few killed, but it's gonna make a lot of noise trying to do so.
Remember, he had no weaknesses
Yeah, he
for
did.
it. He
But
did not.
But he didn't. He could have just not known.
He had no. But he had no clue or anything. I mean, you'd think if someone figured out how to kill them, there'd be some kind of spread around.
Somewhere.
It
Yeah.
depends.
Because
on
by
where
the
it's
end-
at.
by
you
the
can't
end-
call anybody.
By the end, when they figure out, she's going out fucking hunting.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, she wasn't waiting around or anything. Like if you did find a cure or whatever it was for those things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The ending to that movie was the best fucking ending
perfect.
for that movie.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Nothing's better than an end of a film where a character
yeah.
loads up a shotgun right before the end.
Well,
It's-
not only
I
that,
loved
but it left you wanting so much more, and
Yeah.
that's what good movies do.
And after a heavy movie, which it was,
Right.
And especially how tense, it was kind of nice to go out on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Where you
It
know it
kind of
was
made you feel
just-
like they were going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by the end, I mean, this movie could have easily just ended, just gone dark, and then everyone would kind of been depressed. But by the end in my theater, everyone was like smiling and everything when
Yeah.
they saw her, that she was about to go out there and
Kick some ass.
yeah. And Emily Blunt, my God,
She's great.
yeah, she is just, and his wife in real life,
And his wife
This
in real
is
life.
so-
And one that wasn't originally supposed to be cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
crazy
know who
it's taken them
was.
this long to do something. I guess, except John, he's not a big actor. I mean, he was obviously in Office,
He's always doing things, though.
but he's never been in a good movie.
I've never seen 13 Hours. I heard it was alright.
I saw it. I mean, it was a lot of
It got bad
explosions.
reviews.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lot
Wasn't
of
it a Michael Bay
explosions.
movie?
Yes,
I
it
think-
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
He was actually
It was-
producer on this.
It was all right.
Did you know that?
What? On
Michael Bay was
Michael Bay would produce this?
Produce it, yeah.
What? The fireworks were his?
I guess.
Cool.
I'm guessing
had
they
to
had
have
to
been.
like put him in
It's
a
like
like
something
lock him
has
in a
to blow
set.
up,
Setting
guys.
them all up. He's like,
John, what did we fucking tell you? Get off the set.
This
Quit
is-
wiring bombs.
This is a Michael Bay nightmare film. You can't make any noise.
Oh, he must have been going insane on
he-
this.
he
He hated it.
He hated
I
it.
bet he didn't even see it.
Nope. He's like, I'm going back to Bumblebee.
Because him
Next
watching
month.
it, he would just be like yelling out explosion noises and
Oh, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, because that man, I'm sure, cannot be quiet for 2 hours.
Cannot help himself.
He'd be like, so at what point does Optimus Prime show up?
Yeah, I bet that motherfucker's got an alarm set for explosion in the morning. His
Oh,
phone
it's-
alarm goes off. It's
It's explosions, yeah. And it doesn't scare him either.
No,
He
not at
just,
he smiles, wakes
Yeah.
up, pours a cup of Joe.
yeah. Washes off with gasoline.
Yes.
But, yeah, that's surprising. Maybe we should produce more films and stay out of the directing role. Yep. But I heard that John Krasinski's he's already signed up to do a Mars thriller.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mission to Mars.
Ghosts of Mars. You
There
ever
you
seen
go.
that one?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
movie's rad, right? Ice Cube.
Oh, fun.
Any thriller
Out of
that
him
Ice
too.
Cube's in, yeah. Anaconda. Classic.
Anaconda.
Oh my god, that fucking movie. That movie scared me as a little kid. It's
Have
like,
you
God,
seen it
that's a big
recently?
snake. Yes, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Let
I
me
watched
tell
it,
you,
and I was like, this is
CGI in
terrible.
2002.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not good.
We've come a long ways.
Yeah, we have. Genuinely.
That movie is horrible. That movie scared the shit out of me too when I was a kid because I saw it when I was like 8.
Yeah, same.
It's so bad, and that's a movie that like you didn't need CGI. Like get a Robotronic
Yeah,
snake.
Robotron,
Yeah, get a. Oh man, we gotta do an Anaconda review one of these
Oh,
days.
we will. Someday, yes.
Maybe we'll get Cube on the show.
Yeah, we could.
It's
I
always a
think you know him.
possibility.
Yes.
Call him up. Call up Ice
Got
Cube.
his number in my phone right
Perfect.
now.
Is it under Cube or Ice?
Ice.
Ice, okay. I
Well,
like
first name basis.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are
That's a-
close.
you're
You
very
guys are
close.
tight. You guys are tight.
Homies.
Is there anything else that we didn't talk about in this movie?
Um.
I'm sure there's something we forgot. We're gonna think about later.
Well, what I thought was interesting is a lot of the way they were promoting this was promoting John as like the writer, but he did not do it alone. It wasn't even like his original screenplay. Somebody sent it to him.
Yeah, what I heard is he didn't write it at all. I saw an interview with him. He's like, apparently the script was so good that as soon as he read it or whatever,
Yeah.
he's like, I have to make this.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
But that's the way they were promoting it, right? They were like,
I don't know. I didn't-
starring, directing, and writing. And he does have a writing
Yeah, he's
credit
got a
on the
writing
movie.
credit on this.
But
One way or
it was
another.
I can't remember the two
There were
guys'
two
names.
other writers.
Yeah,
well, I know
were the
that a lot
ones-
of his scenes were his. You know, a lot of the stuff was his idea. That whole, there's a YouTube video of him breaking down that whole Monopoly scene or whatever. As that scene is really important in the movie because it kind of sets up everything and
Yeah.
plays the stakes. But yeah, I mean,
With the amount of CGI and how good those, whatever you want to call them, were. I just was scrolling through this. The budget for this film was only
17
$17 million.
Well, you got 6 actors.
where there
that
wasn't a whole lot of.
And one of them has like 0 screen. Well, 2 of them actually have,
Have
0
zero
screen
screen
time.
time, yeah.
And the sets are nothing like
No.
extravagant. It's a farm.
So they must
and
have
a-
just spent that
yeah.
$16 million on. I mean, not all of it.
Not
but
all
They
of
must
it,
have spent a
but
lot of it.
a lot of it
CGI.
on CGI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure a lot of it was the set design and how everything was meticulously. I mean,
Yes.
down to finest detail. I thought was, and that's what really set it apart from other movies. Yeah,
Definitely doing good though so far.
not a very long movie either.
No, it's only-
Hour and a half.
Yeah, it did
Yeah.
2 things that you never want to see in a horror film, and it was the best horror film in years.
Yes.
It was rated PG-13, and it was only 90 minutes. And it blows everything else out of the water.
Which I think 99% of horror movies I see, I think go 15 minutes too long.
Too long. Yeah.
It just keeps going and going where like you get, and especially ones now where it's like it always shows like the hand of the bad guy
Right,
clutch
right,
or
right,
whatever,
yeah.
and it goes. But that's what they always add so much that doesn't need, and that's what this movie felt so tight and so well. The scenes and everything were so edited well, where it doesn't seem like anything was wasted. Every scene felt really important. 90
For
minutes,
sure.
yeah, that's not a long.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like it took anything away from the movie being only a PG-13 too, because there's no dialogue, so you don't have to worry about language. And I mean, there is some gore, but nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't take me out of it. And when I saw that, I was like, ugh. PG-13. That's weird.
Oh yeah, I do not like seeing PG-13 movies
No,
on
neither do I.
thrillers or radar.
Yeah.
But this movie didn't need it for
No,
sure.
it
did
didn't.
not.
I thought it was gory enough too, where I was like, "Fuck!" I was scared, even
Yeah.
with it being PG-13.
Where it was more gore, where even they didn't even need to show
right.
as much. But maybe even I guess the most blood that you see is
The raccoon.
the raccoon, maybe, and maybe her stepping on the nail. You don't see maybe sprays really quick because most of the time people are getting.
Well, I would say the
Spread.
most
Yeah,
blood is when
smush.
she's going into labor, probably. But that's probably
Yeah,
a very
but it's
different
not
category.
Yeah, but it shows you don't need to make a super gory movie to make a good scary movie because this movie was scary without being.
Super gory.
And
Flash
I'm
on
not
gore
a
at all.
big fan of the gore fest either because I don't find that scary. It's just disturbing to me.
I've always liked Rob Zombie films.
Well, I like Rob Zombie
okay.
films, but
Yeah,
I'm
because he's disturbing.
like Saw. I don't like any of those.
And Rob Zombie
think
is
it's pointless.
He's a guy who he thinks more gore.
Yeah.
makes a better
Yes, he
movie.
does. He's like the Michael Bay of horror films.
Yeah.
The more gore, the
Pretty
better.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to
analogy.
yeah.
Thank you.
I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like Rob Zombie, or I don't really like any of his movies. But I like Quentin Tarantino gore. Where a movie like that, you have to have gore.
yeah.
I like gore when it needs to be gory.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and this one didn't need to be gory. But most scary movies do need to be pretty gory, in my opinion. And sometimes I do like to see a little more blood. I mean, it just makes everything better.
It does. Speaking of Quentin Tarantino, I'm watching Jackie Brown. I haven't finished it yet.
Jackie Brown is
but,
awesome.
Yeah. I'm watching a lot of 90s movies like The Negotiator and stuff. I've watched that again. And ever since we got on that freaking Goodfellas and Casino and all that kick, I started watching 90 films. I like them. They're actually really good.
93, they say, is one of the best years for movies of all time. There's one year where you could go see, I can't remember. It was,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was, you can go see Jurassic Park. You can go see, what's the one where he's in prison, has to break out?
The Rock.
No.
Oh.
It's
Prison.
Stephen King. It's like the most famous movie of all time.
Famous movie of all time. You got to break
Morgan
out of
Freeman's
prison?
in it.
Morgan Freeman?
Oh, my
Oh,
He breaks-
Shawshank.
Shawshank. Yeah,
Yeah.
those movies, and
Oh,
like 5
fuck.
other super famous movies, all Oscars,
Yeah.
all came
Right.
out. Forrest Gump, that all came
Yeah.
out in the same
All in
year.
the same year.
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
we talked about that when we did Forrest Gump. I think.
Yeah, so
yeah.
90s is a great year to go back and watch movies.
Damn, what a recall. That's crazy.
yeah.
Well, that's
What you just
because
did there.
I mean that doesn't happen anymore because most of the movies that come out is just cash grabs now.
Yeah, they really are. Sometimes I just get
The
so pissed
vast
off.
majority of them are now.
Where I'm just like, God.
Oh, it's
this is
not even
not
that,
a
but
movie.
from like 90 to 99, like the top 10 movies, only 2 of them were sequels. From like 2000 to
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah,
All top 10 movies were sequels.
of course.
I mean, yeah, like, or sequels or reboots. Where in the 90s, you never got a reboot.
No, hell
And
no.
this-
Not yet. No.
That's
and-
because he
and-
had original ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to throw fucking $200 million at it to make a successful movie. You could do it with $10 million or a small budget. But like we're seeing
Which is
now,
like
we're seeing
here.
like a renaissance, hopefully this is just the era of fucking thrillers
Hopefully,
where
yeah.
we're just
Well,
comedians keep popping
Yeah.
up, like just totally random people. I love it, yeah. More thrillers the better. One of my favorite genres for sure.
Oh, for
One of my
sure,
favorite
without a
movies of
doubt.
all time is Silence of the Lambs. And that's the best thriller for sure.
The best.
It's definitely up there.
It
It's
sets the bar
definitely
for
up there.
thrillers. That's what I almost always compare
Right.
thrillers to. Well, should we rate it?
Yeah, we should. I'm not going first this time because I think mine's the highest score out of everyone.
Okay. I'll go first. It was my movie, I guess. And I'll start by saying this is my favorite movie of the year so far. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So,
So my score's not higher than yours then.
well, okay, slow down. But
Well, we don't-
Well, and what have we seen this year?
Not much.
What's the best movie we've seen even?
So far.
Oh God, I can't. What?
Which is the
trying
start
to
of the
make me
it's the
overlook
start of the
Black
year.
Panther?
Yeah.
Black Panther. Yeah, was pretty
Maybe.
good.
Yeah.
I liked.
Well, we
Ready
watched
Player
Wind
One.
River, but that's technically not this
Yeah,
year.
it's-
but
No, yeah, I'm talking about the movies that came out.
Annihilation.
Yeah, that is true though. I mean,
Yeah.
not.
Annihilation was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely be my second. But
Hostiles.
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
that was it. That's not much.
But we're in the time of the year where we're starting to see, like, you know, the blockbusters or whatever, the sequels and the reboots that we're talking about. And so to get a movie like this caliber in the early year, you know, it gives me high hopes for the year. Of course, it could all be downhill from here.
It could be. Yes.
But yeah, this was, and I think this is going to be hard to beat. I mean, because I can't think of any movie that's coming out in the future that I really just fucking love this movie. This movie is a movie that I think you almost have to go and see in the theater, and it has to be with, you know, somewhat of a good crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're there and you can just feel the fucking tension with everyone else. Everyone's on the edge of your seat. No one wants to make a sound, which is great in a theater because you usually don't want to make anyone.
Right. And normally me and you have fairly different theater experiences, but ours was exactly the same there.
Yeah,
because that's how my theater was. Everyone was super quiet. Everyone was like just very.
But
tense.
I think it's not really given to the crowds, but it gives the credit to this movie. It's just the kind of movie where, I mean, people are pretty rude. For a movie to shut down an entire theater and everyone to be dead silent, it's pretty impressive.
To shut down rude people is very impressive.
And to be 2 hours with no sound or anything, and to keep a theater engaged, or an hour and a half, to keep a theater engaged that entire time with no dialogue. I mean,
mind blowing.
there's a reason people aren't watching silent films still.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, they're just not.
True.
It's just no dialogue really takes away with it, but it did not feel like the no dialogue or the absence of dialogue took away from this film at all.
No, not at all.
But I gave it a 96.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love this film.
Wow.
I was so blown away. I knew I thought it was gonna be good, but I could not. And actually, I'm not sure if this is John Krasinski's first time directing.
Good question.
But for him,
Probably is though, my guess.
but it's his biggest film, obviously, and to get it, and I think it's still out in 96.
Let's see. He directed The Haulers, and he directed 3 episodes of The Office.
Yeah, so really nothing.
So nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's, I don't know. Hopefully, it's not a fluke. If he keeps putting Emily Blunt in his movies, though, I think he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, did you hear that funny story on Jimmy Kimmel that he was telling about his wife? I guess he was going through TSA. Some guy was giving him a hard time, you know, just whatever, bringing him over extra security. And he goes, well, where you got to be? He goes, well, I'm actually an actor. I'm doing that. He goes, have I known you in anything? He goes, yeah. He goes, and he was going to the UK at this time. And he goes, yeah. He goes, we remade The Office. I played Jim, the UK version. And he goes, wasn't a good idea. The guy was pissed.
yeah.
And he said,
I did.
Yeah, he's like, he's got to go see his wife. And he's like, who you married to? And John tells him, Emily Blunt. And the guy just looks at him in disgust, like, she married you? Yeah. Really?
Well, I would just assume
It's
that
a good
this guy's
story. Look it up
obviously
on
fucking
YouTube.
lying.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Made me laugh.
But yeah, and apparently couldn't be a nicer guy in real life.
Who, John?
Yeah,
Seems
that's
like
what
it.
and that's
he
all I
seems
hear,
like
which is
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he
which,
seems
thank
like a really
God, yeah.
fucking cool guy.
He literally seems exactly like
Yeah.
Jim from.
does.
And I literally think that is him.
Yeah.
But just loves to prank.
Yep.
All right, who's up next?
I'll go. I love this movie. I knew it was gonna be good because of all the hype and stuff, but it was better than I thought it was gonna be, and it was totally not what I expected at all. Like I said earlier, it left me wanting more, and anytime a movie does that, it's gonna get a giant score from me. It made $50 million just in the opening weekend.
Yeah.
That is huge. I mean, they almost tripled their
Budget.
yeah, that's it. There you go. That's the word.
But there isn't a movie that
Well,
doesn't
worldwide,
deserve more.
worldwide,
than
it's
this movie.
97 million.
Yeah, which everyone should be. I mean, these are the movies that deserve to
Making
get,
that
yeah.
kind of fucking money.
Yeah.
a movie that's only spent. How much was their budget?
17 estimated.
It's nothing in today's.
Fucking hell, that's nothing.
I know that's.
And to have a turnaround of $100 million, I mean, by the end of all this, it's going to hit 100 million worldwide. There's no doubt about it.
Oh,
It's a good
100%.
profit.
in the low.
Probably 120, 130.
It's
my
gonna
guess.
go on to make. I'll guess. I don't know. 150, 200 million.
I'd say that's fair. Yeah, I definitely see it.
Because I think that, and I think that, like
'Cause
I
it's
said,
only been in
this,
theaters
and I
a
think
couple
this
weeks.
movie has replayability too.
Oh, it does.
And this
yeah,
was
for
movie
sure.
was it wasn't giving a ton of marketing or whatever. I think that more people that go see it, more word of mouth.
Yeah,
word of mouth
that's what's
is
getting the
huge.
ticket sales up is everybody's talking about it.
That is the most powerful advertising. Yeah, it's word of mouth.
Absolutely.
If somebody you know and trust says this is good, you're
gonna go see it.
You're more likely to go see it than if you see it on TV.
It also fucks movies over. Too. Because early on, if your movie gets bad, it's gonna kill. And that happens all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, how often have we recommended movies amongst our group that I'm like, oh, I never heard of that, or you never heard of that, or I haven't seen it, and then we watch it.
Yeah.
That's just word of mouth, man.
Mm-hmm.
If we see a good movie, I recommend it to fucking everyone I run into.
Yeah.
If I know people going to movies, I'll say, "Oh, you guys got to see this fucking movie."
I'm always telling people about Movie Pass and our podcast and shit. I do it all the time, man. It's awesome.
I gotta give my score.
Yeah, go ahead. I was waiting.
My score is actually exactly the same as Cash's. 96%.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so my score goes from the highest to lowest. I definitely, and it's way lower than your guys's. I really thought it was higher. For me, this movie, hour and a half, but it didn't feel like the movie was too short. Everything was awesome. I mean, we just sat here and talked about this movie for an hour, so I'm not going to go on and on and on. But John, really fucking great job. Mm-hmm. Directing, really great job. Storytelling. This movie was just...
Big tune and knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park, for real. I gave this one significantly lower. I gave it a 95%.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, yeah.
So you hated it.
I could not stand this movie. Yeah, it was a really shitty movie. But
that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I didn't think you guys were going to be that high on it. That's
totally
crazy.
Throw off the curve.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that was a fun podcast episode.
Yeah.
It was. Follow us on Twitter, guys. Seen It Podcast. That's Seen It Podcast. Michael Falk's on Twitter. What the Falk 63? That's What the Falk 63. Cash Kraus is on. I love saying it. I don't know why I love doing this.
Man.
And Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. That's just Cash. Our Instagram page is Have You Seen It? We also have a sister Instagram page for news and updates. That's the Have You Seen It News Instagram page. We are now on YouTube, guys. If you don't know, if you're listening to us, we're on YouTube. So look us up on YouTube. Go ahead and type into the search bar HYSI and then hashtag whatever episode you're looking for, and it'll come right up for you. So with that said, until next time.